아. 됐다. 안녕하세요. Can you hear me, guys? 안녕하세요. 네, 안녕하세요, 엠마씨. 다들 오랜만이에요. 잘 지냈어요? It's been a while, right? Yeah. 좋아요. Yeah. 카메라 쳐다보는 건 아직도 어색해요. Alright. 제가 지금 10분, 15분밖에 없어서 좀 빨리 진행할게요. 자, 오늘 preposition에 대해서 얘기할 거예요. We're gonna talk about the preposition, guys. Yeah. Have you guys used it well, right? So, just basically, there's only one main preposition in Korean, right? So, I will change this one. It's been a while, actually. I don't remember how to use things. All right. Okay. Can you see my screen, guys? So, let me change this setting. Okay. So we were working on the counters before, remember, guys? Counters. So, I mean, and then like previous videos, we were talking about 살, right? Years old, like Korean age, and 만나이, right? The international age. 안녕하세요, 무하메드 씨. So yeah, today I've got only 10-15 minutes, so we're gonna work on the preposition with what we learned before. All right, in the previous lessons, so we were doing counters, right? And so in order to use it well, I would say the easiest way to just make sentences and be familiar with what we've got, right? So the main thing I need you to apply from now on, so it was 있어요, right? 있어요 is the conjugation meaning of I have or there is, there are. We were doing this one before, right? So 있어요. Yeah, it's been a while, right? And then guys, from now on, I need you to apply 이 or 가. Why? Is because we're talking about something exists, right? This something exists. The something, I have this something. Or there are something, you know. In general, it's a kind of like a rule, you know, you have to remember it as a chunk. Of course, many times like we just skip this 이 or 가, the particle, of course. However, here together, I need you to work on it together, right? Something 이, something 가 depends on the consonant or vowels, right? Similar as like adding a or depends if the word starts with a vowel, then we added on, and then if the word starts with a consonant, then we added a, right? It's basically same thing, but Korean is it's not really preposition, it's actually a postposition, right? So that we need to add this one later, so that it totally depends on the later, the last consonant or vowel. All right, so 이가 있어요, we must use this one. And with this one, let's do preposition. So preposition should be postposition. Sorry about my handwriting, it's quite cold, I can't really write properly. So well, in Korean, the the main one that use overall for everything is 에. 에 covers to, on, in, under, like everything, right? Outside, in front, everything, right? So this 에, very good, right? So for example, let me draw something. So this is the activity you should work on and apply in your daily life in general, right? So I'm gonna just draw some random stuff. So I'm gonna draw a house, right? 집이 있어요, right? Let me draw as I always draw. Okay, wing here. So we don't know where, but just there is a house. 집이 있어요. Actually, there is a counter for house or home, right? Actually, we add 채 for it. So instead of 집이 있어요, you can say 집 한 채가 있어요. But 채 we use it like for I've got 3 houses, that kind of way. 저는 집이 세 채 있어요, like that. So we were using 채 as a counter how many there are houses, right? So that's a counter. So let's talk about it. Inside of the house, right? Inside of the house, there are people. How many? It's inside, guys. It's not outside. All right. There are 3. Let's actually add 3 people in there. All right. So how do you make this sentence then? So we say there is the house, and then inside of the house there are 3 people, right? So I've mentioned earlier, like quite a while ago, that we actually cite the reason first and then result after. Meaning is we say the background information first and then the one that you want to say after. All right. So what's the main thing I wanted to say? It was 3 people, right? So we say, yeah, that's correct. So actually 집에 is good enough as well, by the way, because, well, when you say just 에, right? 집에 사람이 있어요. 사람이 있어요. So that would be just general sentence. We didn't even add how many. We were just adding this 에 directly, right? So 에 covers almost everything, right? On, under, in, outside, or whatever, right? So in this case, by the way, guys, so when you say 집에, it's obviously it's inside of the house, isn't it? When we're talking about like outside of the house, we don't really say 집에, because 집에 is originally, obviously, it means inside. All right. If you're saying on the sky, right? On the sky, it's not really on the sky. I mean, it's just there, right? So we just apply the general one. So what's the sky in Korean? 하늘. All right, 하늘. That's sky. So 하늘에, let me change the color for you guys. 하늘에, let's say there are clouds. 하늘에 cloud. Do you know how to say clouds in Korean? 구름. in general, well, we can't really count like how many of them, right? But if, just in case, if there is like just random, like out of nowhere, like one or two, three, like that, then of course we count the cloud. But overall, we don't really have to, in general, I mean. So, 하늘에 구름, don't forget 이 or 가, 구름이 있어요. Right? Simple. But we've been using the counters and the numbers, so why don't we use it, right? So, 집에 사람이 있어요, right? Let me erase this. Let's change the color of it. 집에 사람이 있어요. Then, what's the counter for 3? 집에, I mean the same. 집에 사람 3명. Right? Counter. Guys, do you remember? It's been a while. I know that. 집에 사람 3명이 있어요. So in this case, you're emphasize because of the E here, right? You're emphasize 3 of them. All right? But this emphasis, this subject particle, but in this case it's actually object particle, I guess, right? But actually there is not object count, I think, I mean particle. So this one can go here or it can travel all the way here. All the way here. So in this case, 집에, and then now I am saying there are people inside of the house, but there are 3 people, you know, it's more emphasizing into the person. All right. 집에 사람이 3명 있어요. Right? 집에 사람이 3명 있어요. 하늘에 구름. By the way, this 구름, this sky, this is silly, but we've got a counter for clouds as well. Well, just for your, curiosity, counter is 점. So 구름 1점, 구름 2점, like that. But again, we can't, not always we can count the clouds, yeah? So 구름이 있어요. Okay? And now this preposition, let's use this one. So as Emma said, we can specify which one you're talking about. Are these people inside of the house or outside of the house or behind the house or on top of the house or in the bottom of the house, side, beside, So it's very simple, by the way. So A is just general one, right? So if you want to specify what it is, you need to add these ones. So how do we say inside? As Emma just said, inside is 안. So inside of the house, if you want to specify that there are people inside of the house, you don't really have to overall because 집에 has a meaning of in there, right? 집, you need to say 집 안에. Let me change the color. 집 안에. 집, there is a space. 안에. Alright? So in the house, there are 3 people. Okay? 집 안에 사람이 3명 있어요. So this particle can go anywhere. Depends on what you want to emphasize. But I feel I just want to say 사람이. I want to emphasize the human is in the house, right? So 사람이 3명 있어요. Alright. 하늘에 구름이 있어요. Okay. 하늘에 구름이 있어요. So inside is 안. What about outside? Outside. What's outside, guys? It's 밖에. 밖 is outside, right? What about on top? On. 위에. So this one, we add this one. Only we have to specify which one you're talking about, right? On this one, on top of, yeah? On top of. 위에. 좋아요. 잘했어요, 무하메드 씨. 위에. And then what about below? Under. 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 아래. So together, 아래, right? 뒤에, 앞에, yep, these ones, you guys know it, cool. So, on top, 위에, 아래, and then front, in front, if you want to make it in front, that's 앞에, 앞에, only because it's a circle. This preposition has a circle, so this bottom, if there is a bottom consonant, it goes next, right? 안에, 밖에, 앞에, right? And then behind, 뒤에, right? 뒤에. And then beside, 맞아요, 옆에, beside. Beside is 옆에. I didn't specify which side, but yeah, beside, next to. Okay, 옆에, right? And how do we say in between? Anyone knows between? 아이샤 씨 안녕하세요. Between. How do we say in between? In between something. This will be 사이에. 사이. Alright. So again here as well. 하늘에. But if you really want to specify on the sky, then of course 하늘 위에. Right? However, it's not necessary. It's not necessary at all because 하늘에. So we were definitely gonna talk about the sky on top, right? On the sky, not underneath, or like we are not talking about anything else. It's on the sky for sure. So we usually skip this one. However, 위에, if you want to specify, like on the sky, on top, right? So 하늘에 is good enough, yeah. 사이에, all right. What about across? Across. Across. This will be 건너에. 건너에. Alright? 건너에. So again, these people, 사람들 3명, 사람 3명 있어요. 집 안에 사람이 3명 있어요. 집 위에 사람이 3명 있어요, right? And 집 앞에 사람이 3명 있어요, right? 집 옆에 사람이 3명 있어요. So would I say 집에 사람 3명이 있어요 if someone specifically asked how many people are inside? 네, 맞아요. 집에 사람 3명이 있어요, right? And then behind, 뒤에, 집 뒤에 사람이 3명 있어요. Alright? And then one last one, I have to go to lessons, unfortunately, guys, sorry. So let's say this one. How do we say the sun in Korean? The sun. Here. The sun. So let's say behind the cloud. So the way we speak is kind of like Yoda, right? So we say behind the cloud, there is a sun. It's not like there's a sun behind the cloud, right? It's opposite way. 해 맞아요. So behind the cloud, there is a sun. There's the sun. So behind the cloud, 구름. So this one has to be specified because 구름에, then like which one? Like we don't know if it's on top, on side, or inside, or underneath. We don't know, right? Has to be specified. So 구름 뒤에, behind. 구름 뒤에 해. The sun is the only one. Same thing. The reason why we call it the sun, not a sun, right? 해가. So we don't have to put the counter or anything, right? 해가. Let me change it. 해가 있어요. Okay. So that's how you need to use the preposition. It's not difficult at all. You just need to understand the concept of it, like how we put things together. So inside of the house, let me actually change it here. All right, guys, so think about it. On the desk, on my desk. So oops, on my desk, 책상. On, you don't have to really specify, but if you want to, 책상 위에. 책상에 is good enough because usually it's on the desk, right? So 책상에 or 책상 위에 핸드폰이 있어요. 책상 위에 제 핸드폰이 있어요. Like that. Or 제 핸드폰 옆에 펜이 있어요. Let's say 제 핸드폰 옆에 펜 한 개가 있어요. Does it make sense? Alright. Yeah. I gotta go now, but hope this was helpful as well. I mean, of course, there are much more different preposition, of course. But these ones, if you can use these ones well, then yeah, it will be totally fine. I mean, like you can actually apply for everything. Like on the road, there are some cars, right? So on the road, 길 위에, there are some cars. 차, how many? 세 대가 있어요. Like that. 네. 의자 위에 맞아요. 의자 위에 선생님이 있어요. Right? But Emma, so we've been just adding 선생님 있어요, like that. But I need you to use this 이 or 가, the subject particle for it. Okay, guys? 좋아요. Okay, so yeah, it was lovely to meet you guys again, and yeah, thank you guys for participating, and hopefully we can see you again soon. All right. 자, 안녕히 계세요. And Happy New Year, guys. 새해 복 많이 받으시고요. And what else? Oh yeah, today is Valentine's. Yeah, Happy Valentine's. 안녕히 계세요. Bye bye.